So hello, everybody. Welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you love me. I love you too. We are here for the Eclipsing Fear themed secret code name readings. Now, for those of you not familiar with secret code names, for everybody who didn't personally buy one, it's kind of like a pick a card reading, okay? Only it's pick a secret code name. For those of you who did purchase secret code names, these are their individual readings. All right, they know which secret code name is theirs and what reading is theirs. The beauty of them is that everybody else does get to be drawn to or resonate to a secret code name, and because we're all connected, the chances are, if you've been drawn to a certain secret code name, there's a message in there for you, right? Even if it's not your own personal secret code name. Hey, Kristen, how you doing? So, the secret code names, there's only 3 this time. After the third one was bought, Spirit told me to leave it there. And I was like, are you sure? Like, I could do like a 4th secret code name that's just collective. And I asked Spirit for the secret code name, and Spirit did not give me one. So there is quite literally just 3. The secret code names are Voice Curse, which I was given the visual of Ursula from The Little Mermaid, right? And how she pulled Ariel's voice into the shell. I kept seeing the shell, right, glowing with her voice in it. Then the next secret code name was Davy Jones. And the last one was Magnifico. And Magnifico is the quote-unquote villain of the movie Wish, right? The Disney movie. I'm not super familiar with the movie, so I went and did some research. And I'll get more into it when we actually do that secret code name. But if you're drawn to that, maybe potentially definitely misplaced vilification. Okay. Davy Jones, you may be familiar with the mythos or many mythos behind Davy Jones, especially if you're a Pirates of the Caribbean fan. You may also be a SpongeBob fan, because there's definitely episodes where, you know, Davy Jones, the Flying Dutchman, is in the cartoon series. So, yeah, lots of Piscean and Neptunian energy, especially with, you know, Ursula, Davy Jones, things like that, and the interesting vilification of Magnifico, and how that message is kind of twisted, which might be why Wish never really became a huge Disney staple, right? But we'll get into that. So those are the 3 secret code names: Voice Curse, Davy Jones, and Magnifico. If you're drawn to it, there will be timestamps after the live is done. You guys just need to give me a couple minutes to make sure that they're accurate, because YouTube plays with the time, the time ticker while I'm live. And so I kind of have to recalibrate the timestamps after, but there will be timestamps. So you guys can hop, skip, and jump around in the replay to whichever secret code name you are guided to. They'll be in the description and the comments. All right. Yeah. Davy Jones was in the Monkees, Daydream Believer. Oh, yeah. He's definitely a musician. So, there, you know, especially because Pisces is intimately connected to music as well. If you are familiar with Davy Jones and his music, there may be synchronicities in certain songs for you there as well. All right. The decks that we were guided to today, my hand-drawn deck and the Harrow, are going to be giving you an idea of the villain, the quote-unquote 12th house adversary, right? Or the Piscean house adversary. We are also using the 𝐚𝐫𝐽𝐽 Tarot for insights into it, and the Angel Tarot, because Pisces, as much as it rules sacred adversaries, It is also the rulership of guardian angels. So we are using the angel tarot as well for guides, not just guidance, but guides. All right. And because I have not used that deck often, I am going to be using the guidebook for it. All right. So with that all said, we are going to be kicking off these secret code name readings. And we are going to be starting with voice curse. Timestamp is around the 5-minute, 15-second mark. All right. So voice curse, if you were guided to the secret code name, the villain archetype being Ursula, right? Feeling like in order to get what you want, you have to give up something to get it. And in Ariel's case, it was her voice. She sacrificed, metaphorically, her throat chakra, right? Quite literally her throat chakra, one of the most beautiful things about herself. She gave it up for something else because she felt like she had to give it up to get it. Obviously, it has a happy ending, especially because she gets her voice back and is herself again, right? Finding out that she didn't have to sacrifice the most beautiful aspect of herself after all. So let's see what energy the adversary has. That's interesting. The crown was flipped upside down in there. Let's see who the adversary is, what energy they hold. Oh, that is way too many. We are not doing chunks, spirit. We're not doing chunks. What is their energy, please? The mirror. Okay. All right. The needle and thread and the dawn. Top and bottom of that deck. What else? Clarify the mirror, please. The foreign trader. Bottom of the deck. I shit you not. The mute hag. And the brass dwarf. Top and bottom of that deck. Okay. So the foreign trader. It is an intelligence card. Now, those of you not familiar with Harrow, Harrow is D&D, okay? It's Dungeons and Dragons. It comes from the world of Pathfinder. But non-coincidentally, it works exceptionally well in real-life readings, which is why I use it. The Foreign Trader is a neutral aligned card. The card is a card of spies and peddlers. Any who trade in information are subject to the card's influence. A bargain made under this card's auspice always concludes true, but the ramifications of the pact might be shocking for those who do not understand its implications, right? A bargain. And we're talking about Ursula, right? In the contract or the deal that Ariel made. It concluded true, but the ramifications were shocking for those who did not understand the implications, right? Ursula stole Ariel's voice. Well, I can't say stole because she kind of willingly gave it. She got a hold of Ariel's voice and then attempted to use it against her, right? The evil sea witch. She hijacked it and used it herself, right? Because Eric, who is the love interest, right? Prince Eric of Ariel, he fell in love with her voice. That is the only way that he recognized her. He only recognized the voice. So when Ursula stole the voice from Ariel, Ariel did not realize that Ursula was going to use it to steal Prince Eric from her, right? To disguise herself as a beautiful, beautiful damsel and put him under a spell, right? Spies, 𝐻𝐡𝐵 and 𝐥𝐻𝐸, right? Spying and giving information to Ursula so that Ursula could essentially gain control over the sea, right? Because the deal or the contract that Ursula made with Ariel was never really about Ariel. It was about King Triton, because King Triton loved Ariel as his daughter and would do anything for her, including sacrificing himself in order to undo that contract that Ariel made. It was always about taking control of the sea and taking the power from Triton, right? It was never about Ariel to begin with. You're dealing with someone in your mirror, in your experience, who is using information against you because they have bigger fish to fry, so to speak, right? Or bigger mermen to fry. I feel like the less you say, the better. The mute hag, which is essentially Ursula, because she felt like her voice or her ability to create, right? The throat chakra rules creation. Her ability to create was being silenced because King Triton had all of the power. The mute hag is a charisma card. Or not a charisma card, forgive me. It's a wisdom card. So it's neutral evil. It's evil for the sake of evil, quote unquote, needing to exist, right? The mute hag may be silent, but the eye she holds lets her see into the hearts of men. This hag invokes blood pacts and poisonous secrets, the kind that turn brother against brother and son against father. It is a card that performers loathe as it leaves them stumbling over their words and songs. Performers being particularly bards. And bards are seafarers, right, in D&D. Turns people against each other that would have otherwise been in alignment, right? We're talking about someone who collects information and quite potentially spreads gossip, right, in real life. Someone who tends to receive the secrets of other people, gets all the inside juice, right, what's going on in people's personal lives, but then uses it later to turn people against each other or to hurt the people that confided in them for their own position, power, or gain. It kind of reminds me of somebody that I worked with at my previous job. He was at the company for forever, and there was something about him. Everybody, and it had something in his chart, right? But everybody told him their personal business, even if they knew they shouldn't. It was like you couldn't help it. You couldn't help but be in this guy's presence and just tell him all of your secrets. And he would go back and tell his superior all of the dirt, right? All of the things going on that people confided in him. And doing that helped him maintain and secure his position in the shop. He had leverage, You know, he had weight and sway. He was important. He was given certain power and control over things. And it's because he was the spy, right? He was the spy. I think you may be dealing with somebody who is using the fact that you confide in them for power. They're trading that information for some kind of gain that ultimately could be used against you later. Now, it comes out with the brass dwarf, so don't be too upset. The brass dwarf is a constitution card. It's lawful neutral. It shows an Azar who represents invulnerability to a current danger. Although others might fall, he remains hale and strong. The brass dwarf can also mean failure or dark fate for one, which in turn might save all others around him from greater danger. So the brass dwarf, it could be you, but it could be the reason why this person does what they does. It makes them invulnerable to danger. They feel invincible and protected because they're the spy. They're the information source. You're dealing with someone who feels protected because they leak this information to the right people at the right time, and it keeps them safe. It keeps them out of the crosshairs. It keeps them off the chopping block, whatever you want to call it, right? You're dealing with an adversary or someone in your reality who has been connected to you probably since the dawn of time, right? We've got the dawn card and the needle and thread. The needle and thread, or the red thread mythos or legend, it's the thread that two souls share that can never be broken. They find each other in every lifetime. Every lifetime, for better or for worse. They are connected in energy, vibrationally. For some people, they call it a twin flame connection. Doesn't have to be romantic, but it is most definitely this person that you feel most familiar with, and vice versa. There is something about the two of you that probably feels wildly familiar and kind of scary at the same time. Like all kinds of stuff gets triggered. All kinds of healing gets triggered when you guys are in each other's presence, right? In each other's lifetimes. For some of you, it could be a mother. For some of you, it could be a coworker. For some of you, it can most definitely be a romantic partner, right? Whether they're in your life or not. But whoever they are, they're so familiar that you tell them things. And yet they're playing the villain in order to push you into your hero form. When are heroes born? Think about that. When are heroes created? When do heroes come into the story? After a villain shows up. Because the presence of the villain requires the hero to step up. It requires the hero to step up. Otherwise, what is the point of the hero? Hero to what? Winning against what villain? So this person pops up in this lifetime as the villain to push you into your hero mode, where you become your own hero, where you save yourself, where you evolve into your most powerful version. This is why this person pops up in your reality inside your mirror. Because there's certain darkness inside of yourself that you are overcoming, and this person is a catalytic energy. They're catalytic Catalytic. They're catalytic. They're pushing you into your hero mode. So what does this look like? Okay. What does this look like? We're on secret code name voice curse. Maybe you have to speak up for yourself. Maybe you feel like you can't speak up, and so you're telling these secrets or telling these important things to someone else, hoping that they have your back and will, you know, defend you while you're not there, or promote you, you know, or whatever, to whoever you want them to share the secrets with, but they're not. Right? They're not, or they're using it against you in some way. Because you're not standing up for yourself. You know, an example would be like, let's say it's a coworker scenario, right? Maybe you're an exceptionally hard worker. You do an excellent job, and maybe your boss just doesn't see it. And so maybe you talk to this person all the time, and, you know, you're seeking some kind of emotional connection. You want them to feel for you, sympathize with you. You want to make more money. You're hoping that because you're close with them and connected to them, that they go back to your boss and talk about what a great job you do and what a raise you deserve, because you don't have the fucking balls to ask your boss for the raise you deserve. And in order to be close to this person and feel like this person is connected with you emotionally, you divulge your own secrets, right? You talk about your personal life and the different things that you're going through, not realizing that they're judging you and sharing those judgments with other people. And it's actually holding you back from getting the raise you want, because it's painting you in a lesser light, right? It's kind of like that. So what is this? What does this actually look like, please, Spirit? Insight, please. The Ace of Cups. The Five of Coins. The Six of Cups. And the Wheel of Fortune. Bottom of the deck is the Fool. Top is the Moon. You may be dealing with a mother energy. They don't have to be your mother. They could just be a mother. It's also Pisces, right? We're dealing with Aries and Uranus energy. Jupiter energy. So if you did not watch the cosmic currency on this moon, I definitely noted Jupiter, Uranus, and all the different shit going on in Pisces, especially because, you know, that's kind of where the moon is right now. Full moon in Pisces. Talked about some of these things. Because I'm being drawn to the fact that there's little mini-me's like dolls of this figure on the Ace of Cups, right? You can see that. It's almost like, especially if you have children, it's like wanting support, financial support. Even if you don't need it, it might be the point, right? It might be the point. Like, you should take care of your kids, right? It shouldn't all be on you. Takes two people to make a child, right? It should take, both people should step up and be stand-up parents, right? We're dealing with secret soulmates and feeling like you're a target. Feeling like you're a target. And that people are just throwing daggers at you. Or treating you like a specimen. I'm just being drawn to the fact that the knives look like pins, and she's a butterfly. So you know how like people will pin butterflies and create like artwork and stuff? It's like you're being viewed like a specimen, not a person. You might be trying to connect with someone emotionally with the Ace of Cups, hoping that they feel for you, in need of support. If it's not straight up financial, it's feeling alone or feeling like you have no one you can lean on. But this person, they're lacking a very human element of compassion. Like, they don't have it. They're not the same as you. They're coming forward with like serpent-like energy. It's almost like, and forgive me because I try and find better words to say things, and then I remember I'm a Sag and I just need to fucking say it. It's almost like you're a toy. Like, they're playing with you. You're trying to connect with them, and they know it. And they think it's adorable, cute, funny. Because they know what you're doing, and they are consciously aware of the fact that they are not caring. They do not care. But they might be silent and pretending like they do, and then going back and telling somebody else to make them invincible, to make sure that they're not vilified, to make sure that they're not the bad guy, or that they're not like losing closeness with someone else. Like, see, I have your back. I'm telling you all of these things. This person, right? You're telling me all of these things, and I'm going behind your back and telling somebody else so that I can stay in good standing with them, so that I can feel loved by them or appreciated by them, so that I feel that closeness to them, so that they need me. You're dealing with someone who wants to be needed. So they're not actually resolving any of the problems. They're not solution oriented. They're perpetuating the problems because that's how they are important, not just to you, but to someone else as well. They're two-faced. They're two-faced. What's the guidance or the guardian angel helping you with this? We've got the King of Cups and the Hermit. Rochelle and 𝐬𝐵AMyths. I don't know how to pronounce some of these angel names. Forgive me, guys. You can try and sound that shit out. But these are the two cards. King of Cups and Hermit energy. It could definitely be someone on the Piscean Virgo axis. Okay, King of Cups is sometimes Pisces. It can also be Cancer, so it could be someone with strong Cancer, Virgo energy in their chart. God seeing everything. Restitution, finds stolen objects, and discovers the person responsible. Word of God creating all. Alchemy and transformation, rules natural events, helps with spiritual progress. The first energy, I feel like they're going to be found out for what they're doing, and that they're actually making it harder as opposed to better. And I think that's going to happen naturally with events unfolding to help you see. And whatever has been taken from you, as far as like pride, right? Or trust. If it's been taken and broken, I think that you're going to regain it within yourself, for yourself, because a part of you probably sensed it. The Psalm 16:5 that is connected with the card, it's 𝐻𝐻𝐿. 𝐻𝐻𝐿. I'm looking at the pronunciation here in the deck. The book's giving it to me. So it says, the Lord is the portion of mine inheritance and of my cup. Thou maintaineth my lot. I feel like it's mercy. God seeing everything. It's mercy. Like, you might not see what this person is doing, but Spirit does. Spirit does. It might have seen you trusting this person and confiding in this person and believing that this person was on your side. And maybe they should be, right? Maybe they should have been. And if they weren't, and they were abusing the trust that you were giving them, and you're not technically in the wrong for seeking asylum or help from them, they should have been there for you. The universe sees it. I feel like how do I want to put that? They're going to be removed, whether by natural occurrences or by your own choice and divine time. They're going to be removed for the betrayal, right? God sees everything. The betrayal can't stand. Because that is what it is. It's a betrayal. It's a betrayal of the heart. It's a betrayal of soul. But that's what's pushing, right? That's what's pushing you forward into your hero mode, where you save yourself. Certain things are going to unfold for you. To help you get back into alignment. Now the second card here. I'm working on finding the page it's on inside the book. It's not agreeing. With the Hermit card, with alchemy and transformation, the ruling of the natural events, helps with spiritual progress, the word of God creating all. It's almost like Spirit made you a promise, or the two of you had a promise made to each other in this life that wasn't honored. There it is, page 101. And so it's Genesis 1:1. 𝐤𝐵𝐴𝐵𝐴, that's how you pronounce it, 𝐤𝐵𝐴𝐵𝐴. Anyone born under 𝐤𝐵𝐴 will be distinguished by their genius and will be considered one of the great scholars of philosophy. It governs natural processes and phenomena of nature and protects those who wish to progress spiritually. It says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, right? Genesis 1:1. God created the spiritual world to reflect in the material world and vice versa, right? They are reflections of each other. I feel like you might be in this brass dwarf energy naturally, right? Protected naturally. And that's what this person is seeking, which is why they're in your mirror, or why you're in theirs rather, right? Because they can be protected spiritually if they hold up to the bargain, right? The highest energy. You see, the thing was, Ursula wasn't completely upfront with Ariel about why she was excited, right, to make this deal or contract with her. It wasn't about Ariel's voice. It wasn't about just her having, you know, however many days to get the prince to fall in love with her. There was hidden motive, hidden agenda, selfishness attached, a craving of power and importance attached. You need me, right? You need me. I'm better at it than you, right? Ursula de Triton. I am better at ruling than you. I'm more powerful than you. I deserve more than you. It's almost like you have this person who, because they see the innocence of you and your vulnerability, the realness, that they're taking advantage of it because you're also naive to people like them. They're hidden from you. They might have certain placements in their own chart that fall into your 12th house. They are not allowed to manipulate or be dishonest to get what they want. Because to be fair, if Ursula said to Ariel, all right, I'll make this deal with you, but I'm going to do everything in my power to try and steal Prince Eric from you so that ultimately your father turns over power to me to save you. If Ursula was honest with Ariel, Ariel probably wouldn't have made that deal. But truths were omitted, right? Secret agendas were omitted, which is ultimately why the divine would have it that it backfires on Ursula. And everybody else lives happily ever after, right? The brass dwarf, one might fall in order for the, you know, the highest good of all others to be achieved. This person is going to sink with that ship. They're going to go down with that ship. If they want to omit and have secret agendas and they have this power trip thing that they're on, they're going to be stripped of it. And I think that there's a certain amount of surrender and trust that you have to maintain, knowing that you can't take back things that were already said or disclosed, but that you absolutely can stop disclosing things to this person and start acting in your own interest and your own highest good, knowing that this person really is not your friend. They don't have your back. They don't have your heart's best interest in mind. They do not care at all. I'm like cold as a fish, right? That's the way it feels. It's cold as a fish. They do not care about you. And that might be harsh to hear, but I think it might be necessary. They don't give a fuck at all. They're literally using your naivete and vulnerability and good-heartedness, good intentions against you for their own gain. And the gain doesn't even directly involve you. It doesn't involve you at all. It involves someone else that they're holding power or control over, or at least attempting to. See, you have to listen to me. I'm more powerful than you. I'm more wise than you. I know what I'm doing. Blah, blah, blah. Right? Blah, blah, blah. This person's on a power trip. And they're using you like a spark. They're using you like a spark to light the fire, to get what they want. I guarantee you they want to be right. They want to be in control and they want to be right with whoever or whatever else is important to them. But this person doesn't have your highest interest. So If you are drawn to secret code name voice curse, you may need to stop telling someone what you're doing before you do it, or stop exposing the soft underbelly to which they will gut you with later. This person they don't need to be close to you. It's the last thing you need is for them to be close to you. They're not your ally. They are not your ally. All right. And you need to know that. You need to know that. All right. We're going to move into secret code name Davy Jones. Timestamp. Okay. So Davy Jones, if you're not familiar with any of the varying myths around Davy Jones, and there's a lot of backstory. It goes back a long time. You may have heard of Davy Jones' locker, right? It's like or considered like a purgatory state for souls who have, especially, well, sailors and pirates, right? Ship seamen, sailors and whatnot, who committed sins, right? Sins that they would go to hell for, and they don't want to go. So Davy Jones gives them an out. He says, you don't have to go to hell. You don't have to go down there. You can serve eternity on my ship with me, right? The Flying Dutchman. Now, the thing about Davy Jones is he was in love once, right, with the goddess 𝐤𝐫𝐽. And she's fickle and changes like the tide, right? She ruled the sea. And he fell in love with her, crazy in love with her, and she betrayed him. She didn't follow through on a deal. And when she betrayed him, he betrayed her in return. He trapped her in a human woman's vessel so that she didn't have power over the sea anymore. The problem was he still loved her, crazy loved her, and felt so guilty that he betrayed her that he cut his own heart out to stop feeling and locked it up in the dead man's chest and hid it. It rendered him immortal, but he was brutally cruel, heartless, right? Heartless. And there's a quote that I found while I was doing a little back search on Davy Jones between Will Turner and Davy. It says, you loved her, she's the one, and then you betrayed her. She pretended to love me. She betrayed me, Davy said. And Will's response, and after which betrayal did you cut out your heart, I wonder? He didn't cut his heart out because she betrayed him. He cut his heart out because he betrayed her. Someone who claimed love and changed their mind for whatever reason. And he was so bitter, so angry that he betrayed her back and couldn't handle what he did. Felt so guilty that he cut his own heart out. And it was just brutal. And you may be dealing with someone in your reality, and maybe you felt it yourself, feeling like you loved someone so much and that they betrayed you and you got even in some which way, shape, or form, that you didn't want to feel anymore, you didn't want to love again, right? Or the person that you're dealing with did, your spiritual adversary. Maybe they felt like they betrayed someone they loved so harshly that they would never love anybody else again. And it made them cruel. Maybe they turned to someone very manipulative or very narcissistic or sociopathic and stopped caring, right? They shut their emotions off and stopped feeling guilty for the hurt that they put on other people. That other people become enslaved to them because they don't want to face their judgment. They don't want to face the repercussions of their choices, right? The consequences of their choices. They don't want to face judgment. They don't want to go to hell because they fucked up in life. They didn't heal certain things. So they serve this person endlessly despite the cruelty, right? You're talking about deep soul contracts. You know, Davy Jones' locker is in the bottom of the abyss in the ocean, you know, the deep, dark abyss. And if you think about it, that's what Pisces rules. Pisces, Neptune, rules the deep, dark abyss of the ocean. Cancer rules the, you know, the tides, the currents. It's more surface, even if it's still deep, right? It's more surface. It's where the light can still touch. But the Neptunian depths of the ocean, that's the stuff that goes on underneath that someone hasn't forgiven themselves for. Scorpio rules deserts where water once existed, right? Water once existed, and now it's been taken over by the deserts. So different facets, right? Past life water. Scorpio. Yeah, the hardest risk to deal with when loving is pain. If the vision doesn't come to be, we can twist ourselves up if we aren't careful. Yeah, Kristen. Yeah, it's true. So we're going to see who you're dealing with, right? Who the spiritual adversary is, what the energy is that they hold. Get you some insight into them. Who are we dealing with, Spirit? Secret code name, Davy Jones. Wow. So the mirror came out again, and it came out with sonar. This is childhood wounds. Deep, deep wounds. Top of the deck is the book. We're definitely talking about past lives. That's the Akashic record. And the chrysalis is on top. Okay. Let me get these better in view for you, my bad, guys. What else? What else do we need to know about this mirror and what's going on underneath? This person's been crushed. That is essentially what's underneath. Like the surface is a big question mark. There's confusion there, and there's a mask below that. The reason why you're confused about them or they're confused about themselves is because they're wearing a mask, and the mask is hiding the pain. It's hiding the heartbreak, and the heartbreak comes from something much deeper. Much deeper. Who is this person? This adversary? Clarify it, please, Spirit. They really don't want to be seen. They don't want to face their own shadow. Betrayal. Betrayal. Bottom of the deck is the big sky. Someone's freed, chains are breaking while someone else is still chained. And the marriage. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to give a hypothetical scenario. You guys take it as it resonates, okay? But this is the vibe. Imagine a first love. A first love. And then being kind of caught up in such a crazy connection with someone else, right? Let's just say your first love has potential for longevity. You know, you're working through different problems as they come up, but that was your first commitment. And then all of a sudden, it's a kind of siren energy that takes you off your course, and you're madly in love with it. And so you betray your first love for this greater, quote unquote, greater attraction, right? This greater soul draw. Something about this person is probably Chiron connected, right? Playing on your chart in some way. But you're drawn to just sacrifice everything for them. Only to hurt and betray the first person. And for what? Right? For what? Some crazy Chiron wound attraction person. And after betraying your first love, maybe there's no way you can get the siren type energy to come back, and you feel betrayed by them. And so you live it out, negating your own feelings, projecting that onto someone else, right? Finding another person who reminds you of the siren, chasing the love from them that you never got, and still not getting it, and being so broken over the fact that this is where you are because you betrayed the first love to begin with, right? That you don't actually want to face the quote, they don't actually want to face the sin that they committed. And it does kind of feel like a sin. So whatever it was, if you want to look at the 10 commandments, right? Someone broke one of those. I feel like it hasn't sat right in their soul. Because even if they were told it was okay, even if they were told it was acceptable, even if they told themselves it was fine, it didn't sit right, and they shouldn't have done it. They should have went about it a different way, a better way, and they didn't. And it's buried. There's deep pain there. Like someone made a wrong choice or multiple wrong choices along the way. And now someone's got their head on a platter, so to speak. They put themselves in a position where they could have made it right, like hypothetically speaking, because things repeat, right? Stories repeat, characters repeat. Maybe they couldn't get their first love back, but maybe the embodiment of their first love in someone else came back. Someone that they could have actually, you know, have issues that they work through over the years, but a very strong relationship potential, right? Strong commitment, growth edge, right? Type of relationship, and they betrayed them again for the siren energy, seeking the love they never got in the first place from the first one, right? The cycle's repeating, right? We're talking about the book, Akashic history, repeat stories. Someone didn't learn it the first time, and apparently didn't learn it the second time either, and maybe didn't learn it the third time. You know, depending on who they are and how many times they've been on this merry-go-round. And they're watching the first love archetypal energy, right, that these characters in their life are holding break the chains. Watching them become free, while they themselves are trapped inside the shadow mirror, right? They're trapped inside their shadow mirror. You'll have to tell me in the comments if this makes sense to you. Like someone is repeating karmic cycles, and it might be really obvious to other people, but they are blind to it. And they don't understand that the reason why it's repeating is because there's something buried and suppressed deep, deep, deep in their subconscious. So much so that it has become unconscious. Right? If you think about Neptune, it cannot be seen unless you use tools like a telescope to look at it. You can't see it with the naked eye. This person is not going to be able to see it unless they're utilizing tools, like spiritual tools. I don't know, like tarot or astrology or meditation or therapy, right? They're not using tools, so they can't see it. They're just repeating the wounded pattern. And it probably goes back to their parents and their parents being incompatible. Their parents being incompatible. Because these are fire and water here. They're not of the same elements. And for better or worse, the marriage stuck out and rippled, right? The card talks about for better or for worse. The betrayal energy is a charisma card. And it's neutral evil. It says the betrayal is selfishness incarnate. Envy twists the spirit and leads ultimately to devastation. It can also indicate a person whose loveliness hides an evil heart. So what this person might fail to realize is the first siren and the second siren or the third siren, right? Whoever they attached themselves to and went after to their own disappointment had a selfish heart. Their loveliness hides evil intention. It's selfishness incarnate. Whoever they fell in love with the first time that pulled them away from their first love had selfish motives. They might have pulled on this person's heartstrings. They might have pulled on this person's wounding because they were benefiting from it. And we're going to get into the tower. We're going to find out exactly what it was. But they did not love the person in return. Like Davy Jones loved Calypso. Calypso needed a ferryman to help people who passed away at sea get their souls to the next world. And she told Davy if he did it for 10 years, that when he stepped back onto land, he could be with her. And she no-showed. She no-showed. She needed a ferryman. She didn't love Davy. He was madly in love with her, though, was willing to sacrifice 10 years of his life for her. And was crushed when she didn't show. Whoever the siren energy is, who drew this person away from their first true partner, their aligned partner, right? Someone who was meant to grow with them, that they loved and cared about, and vice versa, right? Mutual love. They blew it for the siren. They blew it for the siren. I think this person did the same thing. Probably multiple times now, because they haven't healed it. They haven't healed it. And it leads to devastation. When they went after the siren the first time, it probably cost them their relationship, their first relationship or first love, marriage, or commitment. Devastation. It might have resulted in poverty. It might have resulted in financial losses. It might have resulted in familial losses or friendship losses, or all of the above. Devastation, right? Life devastation. They committed a sin against themselves and betrayed their partner, or betrayed whoever, for the siren, who was literally just selfish. And they didn't realize it at the time. They might have thought that this person was genuine, right? Calypso is genuine. Davy Jones believed that Calypso would be there in 10 years. She never gave a shit. She just used him. And he was too blind to see that he was being used, and then got pissed. Stopped feeling. Cut his own heart out. So what happened? Another person came around that was mirroring or repeating the first love energy, like a second chance at it, but the heart was cut out. Cold, callous, cold-hearted, brutal, cruel. And they probably abused that person. Psychologically, emotionally, financially, they abused that person. This new person who was meant to be the first person all over again, right? Universe gave this person a second shot to try again with harmonious partnership and growth. And the siren showed back up, and they betrayed this person again because they started feeling again. This person came back inside of someone else, right? Repeating in someone else. And because they had feelings all over again, because this archetype or that energy was playing on their chart, right? Their Chiron placement, whatever it was, all over again, they hurt the right person again for the wrong one. This person has a picking problem. They got a wound, and it's buried deep in there, and they got to look at who betrayed them first. That they keep betraying certain people that are meant to and there to literally love and grow with them. This person has a problem. The thing is, every time they hurt that first archetypal person, right? The true love person, the right person, every time they hurt them and go through devastation A part of the devastation is watching that first person be free of them, be free of the pain. While they're consumed by pain, the other person is free of it. It's a cruel fate that they put on themselves. So let's see. What does this look like? What is actually going on? Insight, please. Let's get specific. My nose is going crazy right now. Like crazy, crazy. It's itching like nuts. What is actually going on? Queen of Cups. Yeah. Cold as a fish. The Queen of Cups loved someone who was cold. Soulless eyes, like dead eyes. Like there's no one there. Three of Coins, Four of Swords. This person grew up around cold people. And the King of Coin. You were providing maybe some monetary structure. I've got the Eight of Wands underneath. It was like a Cupid's arrow. The Chariot. You had this pull. What felt like a divine pull to nurture them and love them. Everything in your being told you to love them. That they needed to be held and protected emotionally. Because you knew they didn't know what love felt like. They were surrounded by fish. Soulless, inconsiderate fish. They just swim along with everybody else, doing what everybody else does, who is soulless. Frogs pretending to be princes and princesses, if only the right one or the right energy would come along and free them of this curse, when really they're just fucking frogs. Using people who want to be the one. That's what this person grew up around. And so you had this contract with them, right? Where it looks like Alice in Wonderland, where one side of the mushroom makes you big and one side makes you small, right? And you had to choose to either become bigger from it or smaller because of it. And I think you chose to endure. And your strength, I think you chose to turn pain into power. But this person required healing that was above your pay grade. You could have never healed them by staying. Loving them wasn't wrong. It was in alignment. You were divinely guided to do that for a reason. It's a part of their repeating story. They had the same choice. Do I grow and elevate, or do I become smaller and insignificant? And this person chose to be insignificant while you chose to grow. They'll probably end up repeating this again at some point, this pattern, where they'll go through extreme devastation. They will meet a true pair archetypal energy that can grow with them, that they can grow with. And the siren will show up again. And they're going to have to make a choice to repeat the same story again and go through devastation again, or grow out of that pattern. They're only going to grow out of that pattern if they choose their healing, though. You know? So whoever or whatever this person was, you're really going to have to trust your discernment if they show up again in your life. Because they may have learned it. They may have chose to grow after dealing with devastation. They may be coming back because they figured it out. Or they didn't. And they're trying to repeat the pattern all over again. So you got to trust your own healing. You got to trust your own energy and your guidance system. If you're being guided to love a lot, a little, or somewhere in between, or not at all. Right, it's going to be different for everybody. But this person has unresolved childhood issues, especially with receiving love from their mother. Archangel Raphael. That's your guardian. It's the Wheel of Fortune. Healed people heal people. That's your ripple. Healed people heal people. It says God is healed. It represents healing, heals all disorders, protects travelers and medical workers. Archangel Raphael is the healer of the self. He's a heart chakra healer in the green vibration, right? Because the heart chakra can also be pink, but that's Archangel Chamuel. Archangel Raphael. Let me see where the page is in this book. Rahel. I could see and understand why this book didn't get, or this deck didn't get super popular on YouTube with other readers. It's got great insight, but the angels are not in like alphabetical order, so you literally have to hunt. I think it's a change of fate, though. You know, the Wheel of Fortune, when we talk about Jupiter energy and it being a magnifier and it rules the wheel, it's a magnifier of faith. It's a magnifier of wisdom, you know, of being in awareness of being both the teacher and the student. And I feel like you've learned a lot, or have the potential to learn a lot. As does someone else. It's just you've chosen to do that and someone else hasn't yet. They're being pushed to it, for sure. But they haven't necessarily gotten out of that cycle quite yet. And I feel like you might have a sensing of that reality, right? That they haven't reached exactly where the divine would want them to be. But that they are going to get there. All right. I would also do, if you could look up on YouTube at some point, like mantras or meditations or like different hertz, right? Connected to Archangel Raphael or heart chakra meditations, or anything to do with 417 hertz. 432 hertz is great. It's a universal vibration, but specifically 417 hertz. I think that would help guide you through your own healing. Because I feel like if you were truly attracted to this individual and you were the right partner, it's probably difficult having to turn that truth off because they chose a lower alignment, right? There may be a part of you that doesn't want to turn it off inside your soul because a part of you still knows that they were someone you were almost meant to be with, right? Like it got so close. It got so close. And that's rough. Having to reset that and look at your own patterns, and maybe having to take a page out of Davy Jones's book and kind of turn your heart off, right? Not to everything and everyone, specifically though to this person. So and not being cruel to other people that come into your life just because one person or a pattern of people betrayed you. There is not actually, I don't think there is a page for this angel in here. Now that I'm like really looking at it, I have fine-tooth combed through every single name. They don't actually have it in here. Unless this one thing is a typo, which at this point I wouldn't put it past it. No. No. Interesting. So I hope that helps, because I'm obviously not meant to find the page in here, which is going to infuriate me to no end. But I know you guys would want to know as much as I do, which is why I guess I'm insistent. There we go. Ha ha ha. Persistence, motherfucker. Archangel Raphael, God is healed. John 5:4. For an angel went down at a certain time into the pool and stirred up the water. Then whoever stepped in first, after the stirring of the water, was made well of whatever disease he had. The Archangel Raphael heals all disorders. He also protects travelers and medical workers. He is the angel of the East. You go down into the depths with someone, like you were guided to love this person and probably went down into a very deep, dark place within yourself. But whatever was in a state of disorder within yourself gained order. That's why you are in these chain breaking type energies, right? Where someone else is still chained and bound to their wounds. Being with this person in such a dark place, you healed. You healed. Whatever dis-ease was in your soul and manifesting, being involved with this person, it healed you. Because whatever treatment you were getting, it was cruel. Right? They were heartless when they were involved with you. Not because their heart didn't exist, but because they literally ripped it from their chest, put it in the dead man's treasure chest and hid it from the world so that no one could hurt them. That's what this person did. So when you came along, they were incapable of feeling. The only way for them to heal it, the only way for them to go back and be a better person for the right person, to be the right person for the right person, is to put their heart back in their chest and heal it. They can't just leave it bleeding in there. They got to heal it. But you most definitively healed because of this person. You might have gone through some serious pain with this mirror, whoever they are. But you busted out of the chrysalis this time around, and they might still be in it. They might still be in it. The chrysalis being turned to mush. Yeah, Spirit's breaking them down. Every time. And if they hurt you or betrayed you in some way and went through some kind of wild devastation, it was probably deeply and profoundly healing for them. And something they never want to repeat. Right? If it was devastation and it's happened again and it's been a pattern, they might be starting to see the pattern now where they didn't before. They might have to face their shadow, and that might be what they're going through. They might be willing to let you understand and or help them understand what is going on within them that is causing the devastating patterns. Right? That was secret code name Davy Jones. And now we're going to get into secret code name Magnifico. Timestamp in here. All right. So Magnifico in the Disney movie Wish. I listened to one really interesting breakdown because in all of the Disney threads and all of the different movies over time and stories over time, there's this thread of be careful what you wish for because it might just come true, right? And so this guy, Magnifico, has these great intentions. He protects and loves the people that he serves. And he guards and protects their wishes. And some don't come true because it might, it doesn't benefit the kingdom, or it might cause chaos or ruin it. He says the wishes are too vague. And then the main character gets a hair up her ass, and it's like, well, everybody deserves their wishes to come true. But if you think about like the movie 𝐬𝐴𝐼𝐸, everybody's wishes coming true is not good. Like, some wishes should not come true. It causes craziness. Just because someone wants something doesn't mean it's in their highest good to get it. And so Magnifico is like, all that I give to them and all that I do, they don't even respect me, right? All I'm asking for is respect. And he gets vilified. He gets vilified, and then when this character, Asha, starts to interfere, he goes crazy dark. Like crazy dark, and everybody goes up against him and everything else, when it wasn't necessarily a bad thing that people were giving him his wishes and then forgetting about it, because the whole reason they gave it to him was so that it could manifest, because they didn't trust themselves to manifest, or they thought it was incapable or unfair that they couldn't get their wish granted. So, he was entrusted to create it, but everybody willingly came to be in his kingdom. Like, no one was forced to be there. Everybody came voluntarily. Like, he was good intentioned from the beginning. And this character, who's causing all these issues with him and how he does the wishes and doesn't understand, is like a child, where he has like tens and decades of experience and wisdom. She's like some little teenage kid who doesn't know any better. She goes through no growth and causes all this fucking chaos and drives this guy insane. Like, it doesn't make sense. And I feel like someone was vilified unjustly, right? Someone was an angel in the reality. That is truly who they were. They were a good energy in the reality. There was a higher reason for what they were doing. And they were registered as a demon, right? Just shuffling the deck, that's where it ended. The broken mind. Yeah. Yeah, some people wish for harm to come to others, and that's why getting their wish is a bad idea. Yeah. Yeah, Magnifico, it was his kingdom. He created it from nothing. It was a deserted island. Like, he created it from nothing. And people voluntarily came because he loved them and protected them the way that he wanted to be loved and protected when he lost his parents. Like, the guy had genuine intentions. But anything that threatened the peace and well-being of the kingdom, he didn't grant the wish. And, she was upset because her grandfather wished to inspire people with music, and he did not believe in himself. And so the wish got shelved because Magnifico was like, it's too vague. Inspire people with your music to do what? Right? Because music can inspire good, but it can also inspire bad. You can inspire hatred with music. You can inspire rebellion with music. You can inspire horrible things. So it was too vague. He said, I can't grant the wish. So the wish got shelved. And Asha was all kinds of fucking upset about it. Like, that's my grandfather. I want his wish granted. And she did not understand. She started causing problems. And the narrative is, you can have all of these good intentions, and if people don't fucking like it, they're going to band up against you and take you out because, their ignorance is your downfall. Essentially is what it came down to. We'll take it into our own hands then. It's like, well, maybe you should have just believed in yourself to begin with, instead of giving your power away and your wish away to somebody else because you didn't believe in yourself. Maybe you just should have believed a little bit more, instead of giving it out to the universe and just saying, well, I guess it's not meant to be then, and settling in disappointment and forgetting about your greatest wishes. right? Like, that's really the moral of the story, or what the moral of the story should have been. It was horrible. The different clips that I saw from the movie was horrible. But I feel like that's the energy. So let's see your adversary, right? Or at least the adversary that you perceive to be an adversary. Let's see if we can get their energy right side up for you. Who are they? Wow, that's interesting. I got the sun and the eclipse sun here. And the star, we're talking about Wish, and the star was a main character, or tied to the main character. We got the getaway under that. But we got the cauldron and the book. We're going to leave that on the bottom of the deck. Okay. The purity is on top. This person, and it's interesting because in the movie it talks about black magic and dark magic in the book, right? There was a forbidden book of magic that he swore he would never touch, and because he was so upset, there's a musical track in there, you know, this is the thanks I get, that he was so upset that he tapped into the magic, the dark magic book, and it became all consuming, which is why he went crazy. And the dark energy became a part of him, which was why he ended up being forever trapped inside of his scepter or something. Trapped inside the mirror, the glass, the shard. But they essentially banished him from his own creation. They banished him from his own kingdom. Oh, geez. It's almost like, how's this for a metaphor, right? People pray to God. They pray. And every once in a while, you hear someone's prayer gets answered. But the vast majority of prayers seemingly go unanswered. And maybe it's because the prayers are too vague. Maybe it's because God, source, creator, really does know what is in our highest good. And if we got everything that we asked for, we wouldn't actually be happy. We just wish for it because we think it would make us happy. But God, source, knows better. And people got disappointed that God wasn't granting their prayers. And so they turned on God and locked him out. You know, people always say, well, where is God? You know, like, if God is real, why doesn't God show up? Why doesn't God heal these things? Why doesn't God, you know, this or that? And it's kind of like God got demonized in a sense. And I'm not saying whoever this person is God, but the good intentions of the creator of it all, who created it from scratch. And people voluntarily came to live in his paradise. Souls voluntarily came into this earth plane and then got pissed because they didn't like the rules. And God got upset, right? Wrath, fury, took it out on everybody. And so they locked God out of his own creation. It's almost like, you know, if you were to tie this into real life. They may have at some point, by you or other people, may have done so much for them to protect them or you, right? They did so much to protect the people that they loved and cared about. And it wasn't understood for the protection that it was, because someone was too immature as a soul to see the value in what they were doing. Like, yeah, I can make wishes come true, but you've got to be specific. And maybe what you wished for really wasn't in your highest good. You know, it reminds me of the person who wishes for, you know, the person who is 6 foot with dark hair and light eyes, of this descent and this kind of build and this kind of job, and it's all surface stuff. They're not being specific about the person's character. Are they loyal? Are they honest? What does it mean when you ask for someone who is honest? Can you handle the honesty? Can you respect it and appreciate it? Right? Or do you get upset because it's honest? Because it's devoted? Maybe you weren't specific enough. Maybe they didn't have a fucking life outside of you. Maybe they didn't have a hobby. They were up your ass. Maybe you weren't specific. Maybe you didn't ask or wish or pray for the things that genuinely mattered. And because this person probably wasn't the things you thought you wanted, because you weren't getting what you wished for with them, what you yearned for, desired for, you trapped them or kept them out of your life, took them out of the manifestation. What else is in their energy? Clarify them, please, Spirit. The uprising. This person was overthrown. They wore the crown. They were overthrown. The Rabbit Prince talks about the broken sword. Sometimes they lose the battle with the dance on top. The dance is all about astrology and the planets aligning. It's interesting because the Rabbit Prince, the symbol that he's making with his hand, is the same symbol the Hierophant makes. Right? That symbol. The Hierophant makes that. That's Chiron. That's the healer. He's got the hourglass on his neck. And the dove of peace on, like, the hand. I forget what it's called. The hilt? I don't remember what it's called. The handle of the sword. It's a warrior of the divine. Lost a battle. And survived. The survivor is under that. Was overthrown and survived. The light was eclipsed out and is still shining. Wow. Let's read the uprising. It's a strength card. The uprising is chaotic neutral, and it represents being caught in the clutches of something more powerful than you. It is an overwhelming strength that often crushes what comes in contact with it. The crown held high signifies an overthrowing of a leader of some sort. In the spread, it indicates a force much stronger than the person receiving the reading. Which is interesting because the dance is the universe itself. It says the dance being lawful good, right? High contracts, lawful good is divine high alignment. It says the dance is a rich and delicate framework that, like the universe itself, requires everyone within it to abide by its rules, lest the entire construct collapse. It advises staying in perfect step, knowing your place in the greater good. Those who step out of the pattern do so at their peril. This person knew that they were in the proper alignment, that they were in high alignment, and that they were getting vilified. They knew it. They knew that that was what was going to happen at some point. It's in their stars. It's in their chart to be the quote-unquote angel that gets misunderstood or gets crushed or takes the heat. It's Chiron. The Hierophant is the major arcana for Chiron. This person was always meant to give their all and be a healer and get crushed by the people that they love the most. It's a part of their stars. They know the pattern. Taking loss after loss after loss, because ultimately it's not about how many battles you lose, it's about whether or not you win the war. This person might also be living out some kind of what feels like cursed energy. They might feel like they're cursed or have expressed before that they think they're cursed or that they're just super unlucky, right? Feeling like they're constantly losing at life or that they're unlucky. I can't help but feel like with this sun card on the bottom, though, that they're making a comeback out of this energy. I think they might have completed a cycle. So let's see. Yeah, Harrow pulls no punches, right? For real, Kristen. What does this look like? What does this look like? We got Temperance, the Six of Wands, the Tower, the Six of Swords reversed, the Seven of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. Four of Cups is on the bottom, and the Queen of Cups. That's interesting because I shuffled these really good, and the King and the Queen of Cups came out in a different reading. We got progressive numbers too, because Temperance is 14, it adds up to 5. Then we got the 6, and then the Tower is 16, which adds to 7. So we've got 5, 6, 7. And then we've got 6, 7 here. I feel like whoever this is, the Lovers is under that. They feel trapped, right? They're crying in the fishbowl. In the world, but not of the world. They feel trapped. And yet, the Lover's card with the Wheel of Fortune under that. Judgment under that. The Knight of Wands under that. When pigs can fly. The Ace of Swords. I think this person, I think they're breaking free from their curse. There's the Mirror. I think they're breaking free from it. They're not going to be made to feel small, anymore. The pain that comes along with it. I think they're taking a risk on removing the mask of what is or isn't okay, or what doesn't feel good. They're manifesting something different. Emperor energy. Whoever this person was, that they were kind of doomed, right? They were feeling that cursed energy. They've fought enough battles. Like, this is all the marbles kind of thing. Like, they're in it to end the war, which means it's their time to win. If they lost every single battle up until this point, and this is the final battle, the final one for the whole thing, it's the one they're destined to win. They've probably taken an excruciating number of losses, but have learned something from every single one of them. And now when it matters the most, and it's to end the war, they win. I think this person has alchemized so much that they're not going backwards, right? They're not even moving towards people that they couldn't wake up, right? Because the Six of Swords in this particular deck, the boat is a coffin. The boat's a coffin. So they're not going back, right, to people that they could not wake up, right? True love's kiss. Love was not enough to wake them up, right? Love was not enough to wake up these people. And now they're flying on the back of the mosquito, the Seven of Swords. It's like they've used the experience and are flying higher because of it, right? The vampiric energies that they were dealing with, that were using them for their healing energy. You're dealing with a Chiron person. This is a pure energy person. The Tower with the King of Coins. I'm hearing how the manifestation provides for them is changing, dramatically changing. It's resetting. And the people that hurt them in the past and didn't see their energy in the past, they're watching. The people that they would never go back to, right? The people that betrayed them, or the people that they couldn't wake up. They're watching. They're watching this person win the war. After being quote unquote pathetic, right? Or quote unquote weak and winning all of these battles and all the shit people talked on them. They're winning the war. The only battle that truly matters, right? It's like, who's going to talk shit now? No one. No one. I feel like there's this relentless will that's driving everything. I mean, the tower's there. It's Mars. We've got Sagittarian energies, Jupiter energy. Pallas Athena is in Sag. They might have a significant Sag placement, especially give or take around 3 degrees Sag. This person has a big heart and a lot to offer. And they're winning for what might be the first time ever. Who's the guide or guardian, please, Spirit? Who's the guide or guardian coming through? What angel? That one. The other ones, I know, I heard y'all. You want to know what they are? The Magician and Temperance. Yeah. The Lovers was under there, and the Magician and the Temperance card is here. So Gemini and Sag energy, they might have significant polarity in their chart. Might be where their Chiron is. They could have Chiron in Sag or Gemini. I'll keep them up there. The card is the Six of Wands. It's victory. The Magician is the generous god, and Temperance is the god of joy. The Six of Wands is God who took evil. 𝐤𝐞𝐫𝐞, we're going to say that's how it's pronounced. We're going to look it up. Bear with, guys, because if y'all have seen the last two, this book's content, table of content, is freaking awful. It really is. But I found it. So, God who took evil, 𝐤𝐞𝐫𝐞, page 59. God who took evil, dominions, Psalm 71:12. O God, be not far from me. O my God, make haste for my help. Anyone under 𝐤𝐞𝐫𝐞's influence will be full of good judgment and will only act with prudence and circumspection. It serves against infirmities and thunder and protects against fires and ruined buildings, right? The tower, collapse and maladies, and rules over health and longevity of life. For real. God is showing this person mercy and is coming in fast. Major, major mercy. Like I said, this person may have lost every single battle with every single person they ever put themselves into a detrimental position in order to help them heal. Every single person they loved and tried to heal might have failed. And they might have been betrayed and crushed by these people every single time they poured their fucking heart and soul into someone, whether it was a romantic relationship, a friendship, a family person, a co-worker, it doesn't matter. This person poured their all in every time to try and help someone heal and be better, and failed and had to accept that failure every single time until now. Until now. Wow. That's breaking Chiron's curse. That's breaking Chiron's curse. I feel like between the Magician and the Temperance energy, someone healed out their Chiron. That wound, it doesn't actually affect them negatively anymore. It's not possible in this time, space, reality, life, whatever, to go through that crushing martyrdom again. This person's healed it. They figured it out. They broke the pattern, right? They broke the pattern. Whoever this is, good for you. Good for you. Because for all you've poured out for so long, to no avail, to feel helpless, like you can't help save a soul, and to take these losses over and over and over and still come out shining, still hold true and pure to your energy after all this time. You're finally getting the win that matters. The big kahuna, you know? Good for you. Good for you for never giving up. Good for you for never compromising your light. No matter how many times the shadow and other people eclipsed you out. You continue to shine anyway. Maybe not even realizing just how many curses you were breaking along the way. Whether you realize it or not. You did more good than you actually understand. And the universe said, don't worry, I'm not letting you lose the last one. Especially when it really is the only one that matters. Truly. That's a victory right there. 6 of Wands. That is a victory right there. Your angels got your back 100%. They see. Yeah. They see. Hey, Teresa. You're welcome. Yeah. Stay in your beautiful light. With that, guys, it's 12:30 in the morning where I'm at, and I still have to make some beautiful intention candles with my members and get them lit. So I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna have those timestamps in for you in just a bit. So you guys can take a peek at the other secret code names if you feel guided to do that. And definitely check out the cosmic currency for the full moon in Pisces lunar eclipse that I did tonight as well, because that's the whole astrology breakdown of everything going on with this transit, and it's a big one. It's actually a sneak peek preview of the next nodal cycle, which is 18 months long. This is the sneak peek of that energy. So if you can understand it now, you will be 10 steps ahead as we go into the next nodal cycle. All right. I love you guys. Have a beautiful, blessed night. Thank you to everybody who's dropped a like. I appreciate all that you do to help me support me in the channel. And much love and blessings to each and every one of you always. I'll catch you next time. Bye, guys.